Hello and welcome to Evie's Classroom. In today's session, we are going to look into a very powerful and useful software called VMware. VMware is a virtualization software just like Windows Hyper-V and Windows Sandbox, but it has very useful features and is more advanced than Windows Hyper-V and Sandbox. VMware comes in two variants, VMware Workstation Pro and VMware Workstation Player. The Pro version is paid, while the Player version is free for commercial use. In order to install VMware Workstation Player, you need to head to the browser of your choice, go to the search bar, type VMware Workstation Player, hit enter, and note that the link will be mentioned in the description. Head to download VMware Workstation Player, scroll down, try now for Windows. Go to download, and it will download a setup file on your PC which is around 600 megabytes. Once the file is downloaded, head to the File Explorer, Downloads, and hit on the installer. Now I will guide you through the installation process. Once the installer is configured, it will open up this window and you can hit Next, accept the terms and conditions, click on Next again. On this page, you can select the path VMware. It could be anywhere on your PC. For now, we will leave the default location. Click on Next, and you can optionally check for updates or join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. I will untick both of them and continue. And you can create a shortcut for the application in the desktop and start menu programs folder. I will leave it ticked on. Click on install, and in a while it will be finished installing. Once VMware Workstation Player is installed, let's get you started by creating your first virtual machine in VMware Workstation Player. Once VMware Workstation Player is installed, you're going to head over to the Windows Start bar, search for VMware Workstation 17 Player, click on it, and once this window opens up, let's get you started with creating your very first VM and head on to create a new virtual machine, and then in install disk image file, you're going to select the disk image file you choose as your OS. It could be Ubuntu, Windows, or any other version of Linux, etc. For this, I will be using a Windows 11 image, and you get to select the file from here and hit on open, and it will detect it's Windows 11 64-bit. Click on next. Give your virtual machine a name. I will give it Windows 11 testing, and then choose a location for your virtual machine to create, and then click on next, and you will get this prompt to enter a password for the TPM. Let's generate a password for now. Copy it, open up a notepad and save it there, and hit on next, and then you get to select the amount of storage that your VM gets. For this, I will use just 50 gigs of storage, and as they say, splitting the disk makes it easier to move the virtual machine to another computer but may reduce performance with very large disks. So we'll stick with single file for now. Hit on next, and you can customize the hardware your VM gets. Here on the memory page, there will be a blue arrow for the maximum amount of virtual memory that your VM can use, and the green arrow shows the recommended VM memory, and optionally there will be a yellow arrow indicating the minimum required virtual memory. For now, since I have 16 GB RAM, I will go with 8 GB. And you can select the number of processor cores as well. You would need to configure the virtualization engine part for the use of Windows 11, so we'll stick with the number of processor cores. I'll go with 3, and then you can choose where the disk image file is from here. And you can select the VNet adapter, which will help your VM to connect to the internet, USB controllers, sound cards, printers, and displays. The display will auto detect the current resolution of your screen and display it, so we wouldn't have to mess with this part a lot. Once you're done configuring, hit close, and then optionally you can select to power on this virtual machine after creation. So let's hit finish, and it will create the disk. And after VMware creates your virtual hard disk file, the VM will open up as this. You can select to open it in full screen. If you get a screen like this, you need to navigate by using up and down arrows and go to Reset the system and hit enter. And while it's loading, press any key to enter. After a while, Windows will load as usual, and it will prompt you to continue the normal Windows setup. When you get this screen, you can either install a product key or continue with I don't have a product key. And next, choose the edition of Windows you need to install. I'll go with Home. Hit Next. Accept the terms and conditions. And use Custom Install Windows only. And the virtual hard disk file you created will show here with the allocated size. Hit on Next, and it will continue with the usual Windows installation process. To get in and out of your virtual machine, you can use Control and Alt. Now I'm in my PC, and if you want to go back to your VM, you can click on the VM or use Control Alt again. Once the Windows installation is complete, you can continue the rest of the setup by yourself and set up Windows for yourself. These are just the basics of VMware. There are more features to find out and explore in VMware Workstation and VMware Workstation Player. I encourage you to go ahead and find those out and test it out for yourself. That's all for Eevee's Classroom today. We'll see you back in a new video.